Hello, everybody, and welcome to the last episode for this year of Beyond Stuff's Fancy Awards special. My name is Brian Chever, and I am joined today by Luis Vasquez. How you doing, Liz?
I'm doing great. I had a great time last night that I was invited to the Caribbean Cinemas special event of the Oscar to sit on the big screen on a CXC theater,
This,
for the very first time. It was my first ever time this party, and it was amazing. I think the food could have been a little bit better, but it was an historic event.
yeah, I saw the advertisement for that event when I saw Birds of Prey, and it looked nice. It looked nice, but I was gonna work on the Oscar night, so I had to watch it on the fanciest place in my workplace. So a little bit of backstage thing. We recorded this video, like we discussed this thing, but we had audio issues. Luis' audio was sounding like double, and I asked Luis, "Hey, don't you mind doing it all over again?" And he said, "Why not?" And there was something before we touch upon the winners. I was on Twitter before after we had recorded the episode that had the technical difficulties, and I went to check on the news. No news whatsoever. And then I saw this guy ranting about the winner of Best Picture. So while we're at it, let's start with the big one. Let's start with Best Picture winner, Parasite. Great film. It deserved it. I was rooting for 1917. I had 1917 in my predictions list. But Parasite is a great film by Bong Joon-ho won the Best Picture award. And then this guy uh, has been ranting about why should a foreign film had the right to win Best Picture. That is an idiotic argument. Oh, just because you won foreign film, you shouldn't win Best Picture. Oh, and because you are a foreign film, you should be disqualified because you're not an American film. To that little logic, I said, "Fuck you."
That's just a very xenophobic statement.
Yeah,
It just
and you
shows
and you can
hatred.
say you're not racist against people and whatnot. No, that is a racist comment because you're
Yeah.
automatically discriminating a film for not being an American film. That, mind you, it might be the best film of the year against all the American films.
Hmm.
Yeah, and it makes me mad because I looked up to. I think I had this vision of America, and by America I mean its people and its traditions. Whenever I heard about America, I always thought about equality. I thought about people having the same shot and everything. And then comes people like this that tarnishes what America, the
Yes.
image America is, by all means. So to the people that think a movie, a foreign film, mind you, one of the best movies of the year, shouldn't even be considered to be Best Picture just because it's not an American film. Fuck you.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
No, no. It's like, where's your common sense, man?
yeah,
And it is an historic night. The first movie ever that is not based from an English-speaking country to win Best Film. They made history, and overall, the first movie from South Korea to be nominated and also win Oscars. That's just amazing. And,
it's
and I love South
historic.
Korean cinema. To me, South Korean cinema is like the greatest Asia, not just from the South Asia, but all of the continent of Asia has the best cinema in the entire continent. So I was really happy that Parasite won Best Picture.
And I'm very happy too. I mean, did you see the reaction of the people involved with Parasite? The reaction of everyone. They were trying to cut short the speeches of them, and even Tom Hanks and every Academy Award nominee and winner on the front row were begging for the people behind the production to let them speak because this is an historic occasion. This is how we should. This is despite of what you think about the movie because again, difference of opinion. You might like it, I might not, whatever. But the fact that this is making history, it should make you happy, despite of
Yeah,
what you think of the movie. It made me happy, even though I had obviously 1917, which is one of my favorites, to win the Best Picture award.
yeah.
I was
To
happy
me,
for Parasite.
1917, but it was always because it has never happened before. To me, Parasite was obviously gonna win. You know, best international film, best original screenplay, probably best director. But I wouldn't believe that it could win best picture, and it did so. I was really satisfied that it won instead of 1917.
Exactly, and if it was a movie that wasn't well received at all, I would have understood. No way I could understand that type of argument against a film, a xenophobic, racist, through and through argument that this movie shouldn't have even considered for this. Again, fuck you. Sorry, it's racist, and racists can go fuck themselves. Now, with that aside, with that thing aside, because they should stay in the past and they shouldn't be, uh, you know,
Yeah,
uh,
but we no longer live in the 19th century.
yeah,
Even though it's wrong, no matter which era we are, but we have changed
the
dramatically
the
in the
best,
last 60 years.
yeah, the best thing about this win is that it gives hope for many filmmakers around the world to tell their
Yeah, an
stories
inspiration.
and give us uh, stories that we haven't heard before. It gives the opportunity for new stories, and that is always good. Now, with that aside, let's talk about the other winners. One of which
Yeah,
is best animated film that went to Toy Story 4. I had Klaus because Klaus for me is the better film between the two, but Toy Story 4 for a movie that I thought it was unnecessary. I loved the film.
see.
So even though it wasn't my pick for best animated film, I'm happy.
No, yeah, same thing here is that, I know, for me, it's very disappointing that every year wins Best Animated Feature,
I think except
Pixar
for
movie, a
was
Disney
it
movie.
last year that won Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, right?
Oh, yeah, that's the
But
only
that's the
rare,
exception.
yeah, that's the only exception,
And the
but
very first one that Shrek won, and that
yeah,
I think that's about it.
yeah,
And
that's
I
about
remember
it.
this because I'm a Shrek fan, so yeah. Uh,
Yeah,
but despite being Disney, again, it's a great movie regardless,
mhm,
and it was nominated. Even though I thought Frozen 2 should have been nominated instead, whatnot. I'm happy for the people behind Toy Story 4, and let's not make Toy Story 5. Okay, we're done with this one.
yes, please.
Now, the second that we discussed in the live show was Best Cinematography. That went with no surprise to Roger Dickens for 1917. I mean, the movie alone, the way it was shot, the way it was filmed, and the technicality of it was something worth of the Best Cinematography award. And Roger Dickens, goddamn, what a great movie!
Mhm.
Yeah, and what and
Yeah, I'm so happy that he has now two Oscars in his possession: Blade Runner 2049 and 1917. I'm really, really happy for
really
that.
happy for Roger Dickens. Now for the third nomination that we discussed on the live show was of course Best Original Song. That was won the only award for Rocket Man. I'm Gonna Love Me Again by Elton John and Bernie Taupin. Elton John, one of my favorite artists on the music industry. I listen to his music religiously from the classics like Rocket Man, I'm Still Standing, and whatnot, even to his later work like The Union that he did with Leon Russell. So seeing Elton John being celebrated in a film like Rocketman and to see him win Best
Mhm.
Original Song makes me happy as an Elton John fan and as a film fan and music fan as a whole.
Mhm. No, yeah, I love, Elton Johnson, especially. Rocketman. So I was extremely happy that he won for Best Original Song. He definitely deserved. Even though in the live performance, I wish that the
Yeah,
actor would
I
show up and
was
sing with him.
I was very surprised that there was Taron Egerton wasn't there. Very surprised. But hey, less Aaron means more Elton. So I don't mind having more Elton in my screen. So and again he was fantastic too. So I'm very happy about this. Now the third one, we're no fourth one. I mean, let me get the list. Let me get the list. The fourth one that that we discussed in the live show was of course best original score, and best original score went to Hilder and her last name that I won't butch for Joker. And throughout the show, what is go- we listened to the scores of each film, right? And every time I heard Joker's score, it reminded me from when I first saw the film and the feeling that I had watching that film. And it's only a testament to Hilder's job. So I am very happy, even though I predicted it too. I'm very happy that Hilder won, and she's the very first woman, right, to win Best Original Score
She's the fourth one, but she's the first one based on a comic book
on about a
movie.
comic book film, right?
Yeah, comic book film. She's the first one, but she's like the fourth one.
The fourth one being nominated for the award.
No, no,
No,
the
winner,
first one
winner, winner.
won.
And what do you think about the Joker score?
Yeah, I loved it. I really really loved the score of the Joker. Especially on the scene of the bathroom. When that violin plays, it just gets you under the skin. I'm like, wow, like the Joker. I don't think is good as the Dark Knight, but I have to admit that what is great is in the acting and the music. The music just flew over me compared to the
Every
other
time
scores.
I think about the score of that movie, I think about in the stair scene, the famous stair scene, and I don't think about the song that plays while he was dancing. I think about the transition between that song to the score that shows the acceptance of Arthur Fleck's transformation into the Joker, and the way it was shot and the way the score was attached to that sequence alone was perfect. And it's the one thing that is in my mind every time I think about the score. So very happy for Hilder for winning this award. Now the fifth one that we discussed on the show was best editing, and best editing went to Ford v Ferrari.
Versus Ford, Ford versus Ferrari.
Yeah, a great film, and a one that I love that filled me with excitement and thrill that I wanted to go racing through the streets of Puerto Rico. Uh, the editing of this movie was fantastic and well deserved for the team behind Ford v Ferrari.
Yeah, so I really love Ford vs Ferrari. I was with my dad. It's his favorite film. It's one of my favorite films of the year. So I was disappointed that it only got 4 Oscar nominations. So I was happy that I won Best Editing and Best Sound Editing. They totally deserve it. So at least it got some type of recognition.
Yeah, now the sixth one that we discussed was Best Actor in a Supporting Role. And no surprise, it went to Brad Pitt. A very
It,
tough competition, of course, with Anthony Hopkins, Tom Hanks, uh, Joe Pesci, and Al Pacino. All great
mhm.
performances. But it was Brad's time to win. And his role is one of the best in the Once Upon a Time film. Very happy for Brad, man.
Yeah, it's like finally it was his year. Like he's such a great actor. He's like considered the sexiest man alive, and he has never won an Oscar until now. I'm really, really happy. That was one of the real, bright lights in a movie. Yeah, the performance of Leonardo DiCaprio and Margot Robbie were great, but to me, the one that stole the show was Brad Pitt.
I agree. Now the seventh one we're gonna that we discussed on the show was Best Actress in a Supporting Role. I have Florence Pugh to win this one, but Laura Dern for Marriage Story. I'm happy. I thought she had more to do in Little Women and all that, but I'm happy with this win for Laura Dern. She's a fantastic talent, a fantastic actress, and she deserved it.
No, yeah, definitely. For me, Laura Dern, she was great. It's like it was gonna be her year because she hasn't won it before. First, too, yeah, I'm really glad that she got at least recognition for Little Woman. But to me, the movie that she deserved not only to be nominated but won is for her performance in Midsummer. I think her performance was jaw-droppingly good. But hey, she's young, like Saoirse Ronan, so eventually she's gonna one day win an Oscar.
Yeah, she is gonna win an Oscar, that's for sure, and I cannot wait for that to happen because she's an incredible talent. And yeah, I didn't see Midsummer, but that's the one thing people talk about her performance in Midsummer, and I don't see it because I'm a scared ass. I mean. But she was fantastic in Little Women. She was fantastic in the underappreciated Fighting with My Family, where she played WWE superstar Paige. So, and we're gonna see her in a big movie in MCU's Black Widow. So I cannot wait to see
Black
that.
Widow, I'm excited.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now the next one that we discussed on the live show was the best screenplay for original screenplay, and Parasite winning big with Best Picture, and it won Best Screenplay as well. Bang Joon Ho and Han Jin won the best screenplay, best original screenplay award, and the best adapted screenplay went for none other than Taika Waititi for Jojo Rabbit. Now, in the recording that is not gonna see the light of day because of the audio issues, uh, you mentioned that you had Little Woman that deserved it more than Taika Waititi's Jojo Rabbit. Why is that?
For me personally, the screenplay of Little Woman, I love the book, I love the story, and the way they translated it from book to screen, I think it was really well made. Jojo, this is the only award of the other awards that I sort of like was disappointed with. The
Mm-hmm.
rest I love that they won, but this one no, because actually for me, even though I'm a huge World War II aficionado, Jojo Rabbit is my least favorite of the nine films nominated for Best Picture because I could notice some plot holes in the screenplay of Jojo Rabbit. You know, so that was for me was shocking that Jojo Rabbit won instead of Little Woman or even Marriage Story. I think
Yeah.
any of those two scripts deserve to win Best Adapted Screenplay, but Jojo Rabbit I was like, man. But Best Original Screenplay, I was really happy that Parasite won over Once Upon a Time in Hollywood because as much as I am a huge Quentin Tarantino fan, Quentin Tarantino is my favorite screenwriter of all time. Uh, at least the third act of Once Upon a Time in Hollywood is not good at the first two acts. So I was really happy that I did not win. It only won Best Supporting Actor, Best Production Design, even though it should have been a tie between that movie and 1917. I'm glad that it didn't win Best or Original Screenplay.
Yeah, and hey, coming from a Doctor Who fan whose show is filled with plot holes, I think I didn't mind that with Jojo Rabbit. I think I had fun watching Jojo Rabbit. I had it winning the adapted screenplay, just for the fact that how touching the movie was to me. The last movie I remember seeing touching upon the Nazis in such a way, not as in comedic, but as in you know sad and in that sort of situation was Schindler's List. And I remember the little girl with the red
Oh
jacket.
yeah,
And when
I
once
have
I
that
saw
movie.
and once I saw the shoes, it took me back to Schindler's List. and the feeling I got with Schindler's List, though it was bigger then because of the impact that it had on me. Yeah, Jojo Rabbit was funny and all. That thank goodness for that. But I had a similar feeling watching that scene with the shoes that I had with Schindler's List with that scene. And
No,
yeah,
Schindler's List, I cried so much in that movie.
I think I was a little bit too young to watch that movie, but I'm grateful for the teacher that showed me that movie because yeah, with that movie I saw the reality of the because I back then I only had the imagination of the Nazis thanks to Indiana Jones, but then I saw that movie and it hit me hard. And this movie, while being funny, Jojo Rabbit, it still touched me, touched the topic hard about the hardships and the pain and the struggles for for the Jews there in Germany. But overall, I'm happy with the win of both adapted screenplay and original screenplay. For me, two great movies, two great writers, and I cannot wait to see what's next for both Bong Joon Ho and Taika Waititi. Now, the other one that we touched on the live show was, of course, Best Director, which was an upset for me because I had Sam Mendes winning for 1917, but Bong Joon Ho took it home, the Best Director award, and he don't, not even Bong Joon Ho expected to win, which was the funniest thing. And
Yeah, I know.
he just wanted to go and drink and celebrate with his cast, and he won, and I was so happy that he won.
Yeah, yeah, because best director is sort of like the second most important award. Yeah, so to me, it was between Sam Mendes or Bon Joon. So I was really happy that Bon Joon won because again, the story is much more complex. It's a movie that everyone needs to see because it's a movie about our time, what's going on, about social class, of how people are fighting each other to reach the top, how people need to lie. It has to do with self identity. And it was done in a very, very creative way. I love the direction of this movie, so I was really happy that Banu won for Best Director.
Yeah, I was very happy too. And once I saw that Bang Joon Ho was gonna won the best director, I started to think to myself, Parasite's gonna win Best Picture. There's no way 1917 is gonna win it now that Sam Mendes didn't win it. But I'm happy regardless because great films. What a great year for film. Now, the other one that we spoke about in the live show was Best Actress. Renée Zellweger took it from her performance as Judy Garland in the film Judy, and she deserved it because wow, what a performance in that movie! It was one of the heart of the most heart touching movie that I saw in my binge watch, and wow, Renée Zellweger really played well the role of Judy, and yeah, her speech went too long in the show, but I was happy regardless. She was happy. She was overwhelmed, and she was proud to have made that movie. And I was so great performances all around. But it was Renee Zellweger's award to lose.
No, yeah, Renée Zellweger. I love her ever since I watched in Chicago when she won her first Oscar. She nailed Judy Garland. Even though the movie Judy, I think that it went a little bit slow in the second act. I loved her performance from beginning to end, and the thing that she does at the end, it made me cry because the Wizard was the first movie that I ever cried. That's where I started to fall in love with Judy Garland, with musicals, and her performance. She has given it all. I would admit that her acceptance speech was way too long. I think she could have called it like a minute. I think she gave out like the longest acceptance speech in all of the night. But yeah, she totally earned it. As much as I love Saoirse Ronan and Scarlett Johansson, actually, alongside in the future they're gonna win an Oscar. But yeah, this was her year again, like it was in Chicago.
Yeah. Now the last that we're gonna discuss now that we discussed Best Picture on the top of the show, is of course Joaquin Phoenix winning for Joker in the Best Actor category. A good
Yeah,
race between Leonardo DiCaprio and company. but it was Joaquin Phoenix's award for to lose. Uh, the best thing about the movie was his portrayal as the Joker.
Mhm.
And I was happy. I had it on my prediction, and thank goodness he has won every single award so far, except for the Spirit Award, which was won by Adam Sandler for Uncut Gems, one snub. Uh, but I'm happy with Joaquin Phoenix because it was a strong portrayal, one of the strongest portrayals of the character in the in the rich history of the Joker.
Okay. No, yeah, it definitely deserved to win because I mean his physical, mental, and emotional transformation is just amazing. And this is, I believe, like the second time in which two actors win an Oscar for the same character. The first time being, um, Marlon Brando and
And
Robert De Niro
Robert
for
De
the
Niro,
Godfather movies. So yeah, I was really excited. Even though Simon wanted Antonio Banderas to win because he also had never won Oscar, but yeah, it was like Joaquin Phoenix here.
it was, and I was happy. Again, watching those scenes in the montages throughout the show, it brought me back to watching that movie for the first time. Uh, and I was rooting for Joaquin Phoenix though. Thank goodness he won because again, such a strong performance. Yeah, so the other ones were great as well, but this was I think the strongest to and I'm glad he won. Very happy for everyone that won in the show. The show itself, it was really darn good. I was entertained from start to finish with Janelle Monet starting the show with like Mr. Rogers and making a performance tribute, celebrating all the films nominated and all the movies throughout the year, like Us, Midsummer, and all that. And the presenters with Steve Martin, Chris Rock, everyone did well. Uh, the one that we forgot to talk about in the last recording was the award of the special effects, where James Corden and Rebel Wilson came out as their characters on Cats, and
Oh yeah, I was like, oh
I
no,
when
no.
I wasn't expecting them to go that far. I was expecting them to bring it up because again, best visual effects and all. But then I saw James Corden, which is the first one that I noticed, and I started laughing my ass off because and then
Oh
Rebel
yeah.
Wilson then. I think that look would have worked so much better than the look that they went on with on the actual Cats movie. Maybe.
Yeah.
So the show was great. The presentation was fantastic. I think this is one of the best Oscar awards that I've seen in a long time. They respected the time of each of the winners, giving them their time to make their speeches and all. And I'm happy overall. This was a great year for film, and I hope this next year, this 2020, is just as good or maybe even better than this year.
Yeah, it was great. But for me personally, one of the biggest surprises of the night was Eminem coming out and singing
Yeah,
his Oscar-winning song "Lose Yourself," and it was great not just because I'm a huge Eminem fan, but the guy also when he won the Oscar for Best Original Song, he wasn't there present. He was there taking care of his daughter because he personally didn't believe that he was gonna win, and he won. So that was a way of since I wasn't here present to take my Oscar, I'm gonna sing the song in front of all of you.
yeah,
And it was so cool seeing all the actor director singers. So no, but one hilarious moment was the screenshot of Martin Scorsese when
yeah.
he was singing the song. He was like,
he
"Can I go home now?
Yeah, no,
Did I
he
just
wasn't
win an
having
Oscar?"
it. But my favorite shot was seeing Kelly Marie Tran singing along with the song. I was so happy to see her having fun after all the shit she got on that franchise of Star Wars. I was happy she was having fun. Then Martin Scorsese being all grandpa-ish. I liked it. I liked it. It was a
Yeah.
great show, and it's gonna be one to be talked about for the next few weeks, I'm sure. And very happy for the winners because all of the winners are great films, great talent. I don't think there was if there was any surprise, it was a good surprise. You know, unlike Green Book winning and all that, this was a great year, especially for the significance of Parasite winning Best Picture, what it means in the Academy, which is change. Finally, it's a slow change, but a change is happening, and I'm happy, very happy for the future that holds to the Academy Awards. And so that's the end of the show. I have fun covering this thing in the last few days. Where can we find you, Luis?
You can follow me on Instagram under Luis Andres Potter, or simply just type Luis Vasquez.
And you can find me sure on Twitter as it and at is the one nerd. And you can find me in all Beyond Stop platforms. I will be posting some things that I have prepared for this week soon. There's a lot of things planned for the channel, so stay tuned for that. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Let us know in the comments what your favorite moment of the Oscars was, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.
Bye.